Banging on Doors, a conversation between leaders of the Community Loan Fund of the Capital Region and Yolanda Caldwell, Chief Diversity Officer and Director of the Women's Leadership Institute at the College of St. Rose, President of ACES, and owner of Titus Enterprises. Each week, we'll be talking with local entrepreneurs about their accomplishments and their challenges. Today, Yolanda will be having a conversation with Karen Maxwell, owner of Kema Kreations.
Kema's Kreations is a business that takes your ideas, your vision, and brings it to life, either in bags, blankets, whatever it is that you're envisioning, we bring it to life.
That's wonderful. Now, I know about your business because I'm a customer and I'm a very happy customer. But you've made some changes and you've done some things different since the pandemic. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Due to the pandemic, I was laid off from my full-time job. So I had to pivot my business to be able to stay afloat. So I started creating masks to protect my community and those as many as far as Africa currently. And what I do now is I customize masks also to continue to push forward and stay afloat in this time.
So you went from being primarily in the capital region, and I know you've done some shows in New York, but now you're an international business as a result of the pandemic.
Absolutely. So currently my masks have reached as far as Africa and Japan that I know of. Yes.
That is amazing. So
Thank you.
I am kind of in awe of the pivot that you've made. And the title of our show is Banging on Doors. Can you tell us of an incident or an opportunity that you had as a result of you banging on doors?
I think my whole entrepreneurship has been banging on doors, and I will even have to go as far as say kicking down some doors. As a sole proprietor, as a small business, everything that we do, and we have to push forward. It's not given to us. We're not entitled to it in many cases. So we have to bang down doors to get what we deserve, what we want.
I think you're right. As an entrepreneur, it is very challenging at times to move forward, and that whole concept of having to really knock on doors, multiple doors to hear a yes, is something that can be taxing. Tell us how you keep going. How do you continue to move forward when you've been told no?
I would have to speak on two different aspects of that. When you're a sole proprietor and entrepreneur as a part-time person, meaning your business is your part-time, where you're still having to fund your business from a full-time position, it's different from when you are having to do it and it's the only income that you have coming in. So when I had to do this as a part-time business, it wasn't as hard to have to bang on doors, knock on doors. When it becomes your sole income and your business is the only thing that is sustaining you, you have to knock a little bit harder. You have to force people to listen to you. You have to be very persistent, because if you're not, it's challenging. It's hard to sometimes hear that no. But if you accept a no, then it becomes mentally taxing, sometimes physically taxing. So you have to do everything in your power to stay mentally aware of where you are emotionally, to make sure that you keep pushing until you hear that yes. And once you hear that yes, it gives you a whole nother level of energy to not want to hear another no. So you do everything that you have to do to keep pushing forward.
I think it's interesting how you shared that your goal is to get that yes. So it almost, that banging on doors can happen both ways. You banging on doors to get the yes, but once you start getting yeses, people start banging on your door. So tell us about Right. So tell us about how business has been coming to you as a result of the pandemic and you making masks.
Business comes in many ways. Originally, prior to the pandemic, my business was mostly word of mouth. Because of the pandemic, things shutting down, obviously for our safety, I've had to rely almost solely on social media and the internet. So a lot of customizations, my clientele have all been by somewhat word of mouth, but mostly people sharing their experiences with my business or b- avenues like this. I'm doing Zooms and commercials and um, being notarized in the media. And because of it, then folks have been able to see my logo, see my brand, wear my masks. There's even been a situation where one of my customers, so another one of my customers realized the logo and was like, oh, I got my mask from there also. So those forms of interactions have all pushed me a little bit further than I would have expected. So, in some cases, as detrimental as it's been to the world, not just our area, but to the world, the pandemic has also propelled my business forward. To date, masks are my largest seller. I would have never expected that at another time.
Wow. So can you share with us a little bit the impact of the Community Loan Fund and the Albany Center for Economic Success on your business?
Wow. I'm going to try to do this without being teary eyed. I couldn't be here without the Community Loan Fund. It just, it wouldn't have happened. During the pandemic, they opened up opportunities by having grants available. And I happened to be one of the awardees of that grant. That grant allowed me to then go to ACES and be able to expand my location. So although I'm in the Community Loan Fund building, the same building we occupy, but I was able to get a larger space. That larger space allows me to create more because I have more area to work with. That larger space allows me to have more equipment to be able to then produce more masks or more bags. It's allowed me to grow in such a way that without the Community Loan Fund and or ACEs, I would not be where I'm at today. So I really owe everything that I am today to them as well as myself.
So, what advice would you have for other business owners?
Loaded question. I have a lot of advice for other business owners. The most important thing that I would say to other business owners is if you're going to venture into business, be it as a partnership or a sole proprietor, you have to sit down and think to yourself first. Why are you doing what you're doing? Because in many cases, it will be the only thing that allows you to push forward, be your determination of why you are doing it. The second thing that I will say to business owners is make sure that you tap into all of the resources that you have available. In many, many cases, in many days, it will be the only rock that will be beneath you. Third, I would say know every aspect of your business. Some of my downfalls came from me not knowing the other areas of business that I needed to know. I know that I love to sew. That was what drove me to doing what I do. However, the other things that I didn't know, bookkeeping, keeping all your receipts, social media, all the different aspects that come with a business, I had to learn those. And I encourage you as a business owner to know all aspects of your business because when you don't, it creates downfalls that you're more than likely not ready for. So please learn from my experiences and know that everything has to be learned. And it's better to learn it now before you have to fall into that pitfall.
Thank you for sharing that story. I know it can be difficult sometimes to talk about areas of opportunity in your development particularly your business. So thank you for being transparent and sharing that. And I hope those who are listening understand what you're saying and take value in what you're sharing with them, and that they take advantage of some of the opportunities and services that are offered by the Community Loan Fund and ACES. And some of the training classes that are offered, they actually have a free platform that business owners can get information. It's called Edupreneur. So I hope that as you're listening, you'll go to the website, you'll take a look and see what services are offered. As Karen mentioned, it's very important as business owners, whether you're a current business owner or an aspiring business owner, to give yourself additional support in conjunction with your skills that make you qualified to own your own business. So Karen, tell us, what do you need to take your business to the next level?
Also a loaded question. First and foremost, for myself, I would say patience. Sometimes I get overwhelmed and need to take a step back and, again, utilize everything that I have available to me. And again, that's where the Community Loan Fund comes in. During doing the 8-week business course has been amazing to me, simply because the many things that, again, I did not know and had to learn were the things that program helped me to realize I needed to learn it. And there are so many times where I have to step back and go back to what I have learned in those courses to be able to move forward. And that takes patience. It takes patience to sit down and say, you know what, I've learned this and I need to go back to my training. Moving forward, I think I also would need to rely on my community and know that my community has my back and that they will support me, whether I'm doing a commercial, showing up on their news clip, or simply just walking the streets, and know that my masks are out there. My clutches with matching masks are out there. So I still need my community to support me, which sometimes can be difficult, especially in the pandemic. It still takes money to support a business, but when the community is low, you have to know that everyone is in this together. It takes a village.
It definitely takes a village. And we are so grateful for you taking time out of your busy schedule to join us and to be our first guest on Banging on Doors with Yolanda Caldwell. It has been a great conversation, and I want to wish you many, 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 many open doors.
Thank you
so
and
much.
You're very welcome. Thank you, and I wish you great success with your program.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Audience, thank you for joining us for our first episode of Banging on Doors with Yolanda Caldwell. I want to thank our sponsors, the Community Loan Fund, ACES, and the College of St. Rose. We ask and we hope that you walked away with some advice, some great stories, new ideas, new insights to help you bang on doors so that others will bang on your door. Thank you again for joining us.
Want to support more businesses like this? Join the Community Loan Fund's Emerging Investors Network. When you invest money with the Community Loan Fund, we pool that money with other investments to build new businesses, develop new community projects, and support the valuable work of nonprofits, all right within your community. Every investment earns interest. Plus, you'll have the opportunity to meet with businesses you've helped and see your money in action. Learn more at www.mycommunityloanfund.org.
The College of St. Rose is celebrating its 100th anniversary, but we are not slowing down. We're still focused on educational excellence and serving the dear neighbor. And we're doing it with new degree offerings, including a bachelor's degree in nursing, the only sales major in New York State, and new graduate programs to meet busy and changing lifestyles. Plus, our 2 and 4 programs where you can earn a bachelor's and master's degree in 4 years. The College of St. Rose is building for the future. Build your future with St. Rose.